Sometimes we just don't realize how fast time passes, and when I recently was looking up when I last did a KLM review and found out it was in August 2020, I thought that's a bit long ago, we should do something about that. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Airbus A330-200 of KLM. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of that we have the KLM Royal Dutch Airlines branding. Then on the back side of the box we have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life, underneath which we find a web link by Herpa where we supposedly can get more information about the aircraft model, but unfortunately that web link does not work anymore. And here she is, the Airbus A330-200 in the former standard livery of KLM Royal Dutch Airlines. The aircraft type is currently the smallest widebody aircraft in the KLM fleet that was introduced back in 2005 and is now scheduled to be retired in 2025. The aircraft model we have here in front of us was made by Herpa in 2017. That's an important detail, but more on that later in the review. Because for now, let's just focus at the model at hand, and let us start our tour around the model with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the iconic KLM branding. On the fuselage we then have the full registration code of the aircraft, the Dutch flag, the flag of the European Union, the aircraft type specification. Then underneath the dark blue cheat line we have the company slogan, the Flying Dutchman, and at the very tail of the aircraft we do also have a little bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we again find the KLM branding, including also the writing of Royal Dutch Airlines. We do also have a SkyTeam logo, of which the airline is a member, and underneath that we then find the name of the aircraft and the Air France KLM Group logo, which however since has been slightly updated, but this is the correct logo, as it was looking like this when the model was released. The cockpit section itself, well, it offers us the cockpit windows, of course, with the window wipers, and above that we find the last two letters of the registration code, but that's about it for printed details here. The engine nacelles have been kept in white, just as the belly of the aircraft, but it does carry the KLM branding and has the silver leading edge, but that's it for printed details. What is more impressive, I think, here is simply the physical detailing, because that is actually looking rather good, especially here when we look into the engines from the front, where we very nicely can see the engine fan blades. If we then move on from the engines and move towards the wings, we can also take a look at those, starting off with the top side, where we have the different flap slats and spoilers carved out very nicely, and we do also have some different shades of grey for additional detailing. The underside of the wings I think looks decent as well. Here we also have the full registration code of the aircraft. My personal highlight on the wings, however, how could it otherwise be, are the winglets, which I think look really nice with the KLM branding printed on here as well. A quick look at the landing gear reveals that that is the standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all the Airbus A330s across scale 500. That in itself is not a bad thing, because I actually think it looks rather good, but I am very much missing some printed details, especially around the front landing gear. And then last but not least, we do of course also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back side of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A330-200 of KLM Royal Dutch Airlines in the former standard livery from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, first of all, this is very much a standard aircraft model, but of course it has a KLM livery, which definitely isn't a bad thing. But remember in the beginning of the video that I said it was an important detail that this aircraft model was made in 2017? Well, here's why. Well, if you by chance still haven't added an Airbus A330-200 of KLM to your fleet and in 2021 decide, well, now is the time, then beware, because there are two models. This one, which was produced in 2017 with the registration code PH-AOM, and in 2005 a model with the registration code PH-AOM. I'm mentioning this because the model we have here in front of us has a considerably better mold. And it's also important to know that because I've seen both models retail for around the same price. So if you're just stumbling across these two models, you might question what is actually the difference. The detailing itself, the printed details especially, will be pretty much the same, but this model definitely looks much better because of the mold. And with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.